83% of their representatives made a whopping $226 in 2024 for a yearly average. They even have a section in their income disclosure statement that says, earnings are not guaranteed. Imagine going into an interview and they're selling you on the best parts of the company. And then they end the job interview by saying,
but income's not guaranteed. We can't tell you that you for sure will get paid for all the effort that you put in, but it's still a really great opportunity.
I'm sorry, what? You are not a business owner when you join an MLM pyramid scheme. You're just not. You are paying a company to be a salesperson for them without the guarantee of ever getting paid. That is just how MLMs work. Not by rewarding hard work, but by transferring risk downward. In MLMs, the people at the top are on an escalator up, while everyone else is on the stairs being told to run faster. No matter how great the products are, you cannot support this business model because it scams people every single day. Hi, my name is Heather. I'm a stay-at-home mom, and I just started doing anti-MLM and anti-scam content here on YouTube. And I really need to ask you something very important. Did you know you have a better chance of spotting the elusive Bigfoot than you do making money in an MLM business opportunity? Before we get into today's video, I have some pretty major breaking news in the MLM world. The MLM company called Young Living, you know, the one that sells all of the essential oils and claims that their oils can cure cancer? Yeah, well, they're getting rid of the MLM side of things. That is very exciting. I got this news from Hannah Alonso's video that she posted earlier today. She got a leaked email sent to her from the corporate side of Young Living, and they said to keep it on the hush hush until they make a public announcement. But us anti-MLMers, that is what we're here to do. We are here to shed light on all of the scammy, weird, strange, misleading, and downright cruel things that these MLM companies do to people and to their own representatives. The reps of Young Living have no clue what is happening yet, but I'm betting after Hannah Alonso's video, the news is going to spread pretty quickly. So, another win for the anti-MLM community, and yeah, tell me what you think about it below. We have a friend visiting us today because she does not want to nap during nap time. So she will be here with us. And if you hear any sounds picked up by the mic from the baby, that is what that is. Let's get into some pretty strange and misleading MLM propaganda that I've seen on social media lately. I wanted to start off by saying that none of these videos or the comments I make are intended to make fun of or call out a specific person or individual. I simply want to shed light and debunk all of the lies and misinformation that are spread on social media about these MLM companies on a daily basis, and the scammy business model that these multi-level marketing companies are based on. So this first one was pretty comical to me, and I cackled out loud when I read it. It's a post on Instagram that has 3 slides, and the first one says, "What people think network marketing is," and it has a picture of a pyramid, which is a pretty accurate depiction of what the business model structure looks like if you had to write it down, given that the income is very much funneled upward. The next slide says what really is, and then each level of the triangle has different words. The top of it says CEO, and then directors, and then managers, and then supervisors, and then at the very bottom of the triangle it says hardworking employees. So they're trying to insinuate that being in corporate America is equivalent to being in a pyramid scheme, because at each level there are more and more people that make less and less money. While this might look like it could make sense at first glance, when you take a deeper look at the structure of corporate America, the argument that it's a pyramid scheme quickly falls apart. This is a selling tactic that a lot of these MLM representatives use to get you to think that quitting your 9-to-5 is the best move you can make, and joining their MLM will just skyrocket you to success and financial freedom, because corporate America stereotypically is very unfair. But legally, economically, and structurally, it is not a pyramid scheme because people are getting paid for their hard work. They don't have to rely on recruiting others beneath them to earn a paycheck. A pyramid scheme is when your income primarily comes from recruiting people, not the production or sales of goods and services. Participants have to pay to play, which means they have to pay in order to join the company. In corporate America, you don't have to do that. You just submit a resume, go for an interview, and then you get hired or not. You don't have to pay the company to work for them. Also, the distribution of income in a pyramid scheme flows directly upward from recruit to recruiter. That is not how corporate America works. The system completely falls apart without recruitment, and there is no sustainable external value in anything in an MLM. In corporate America, employees either get paid hourly or they get a salary rate for their hard work. In an MLM, you can spend hours and hours trying to sell products, creating social media graphics, and going live and creating reels and shorts and all of these things and not get paid a dime for any of that. Additionally, the CEO in corporate America, they don't get paid for how many people they have recruited underneath them. They get paid their salary based on the work that they are supposed to be doing, and they will get paid no matter if the people under them do their work or not. In a typical 9-to-5 job, you are not required to buy inventory or participate in weird team calls at random hours of the day and night. And the company invests in you, your salary, your benefits, the trainings that you have to go through. In an MLM company, nobody is investing in you other than yourself, and even then you're really only investing in the company. Corporate America may be unfair and uneven and profit driven in a lot of different aspects of the system, but inherently it is not a pyramid scheme like this post is trying to insinuate that it is. The third slide says what network marketing really is, and it has the inverted triangle, and it says at the top, business owner, business owner, business owner, business owner, business owner. This is so very misleading that it kind of blows my mind. You are not a business owner when you join an MLM pyramid scheme. You're just not. And I've said it 1,000 times, and I will say it probably 1,000 times more. You are paying a company to be a salesperson for them without the guarantee of ever getting paid when you join a multi-level marketing company. In most cases in these companies, upwards of 94% of the representatives do not make any money at all. And don't believe me just because I'm saying it. You can go and look up any of the income disclosure statements for some of the bigger MLM companies, and you can look at the numbers for yourself. They're very dismal, they're very grim, they're very just sad. Plus, if the company decides to shut down, what are you gonna do with your business that you started from the ground up? Your inventory's gone, your customer base is gone, everything is gone. The way you get paid is gone. Like, I'm not understanding how logically, when you step back and take a look at how these businesses run, how anybody is being fooled into thinking that they're starting their own business, because that is probably the biggest lie any of these representatives spew on social media, trying to get people recruited onto their teams. This next post is also very misleading, but it actually sparks a little bit of rage in me because it is so insensitive and out of touch. It says, imagine thinking network marketing is a scam because Susie didn't get results. She also didn't do any of the work, but she won't tell you that part. I can definitely debunk this outrageous and mean girl-esque way of thinking from firsthand experience. I was one of those Susies that lost all of the money I invested into the MLM that I joined. And I can tell you it was not from a lack of trying. I spent hours posting on social media, designing social media graphics, going live, posting before and after pictures of the makeup I was trying to sell and the skincare. I was one of those people that went, and anybody who liked my post, I went and I messaged them because that's what I was taught to do. Trying to take the best, most perfect and aesthetic product pictures and makeup pictures. And I even had a handful of girls recruited underneath me on my team. Network marketing opportunities don't fail because you're not putting in enough work. They fail because that's what they're designed to do. At the bottom of an MLM, most people are encouraged to buy products upfront, pay monthly fees, and recruit friends and family just to stay active. But here's the problem. Network marketing or multi-level marketing, it's already super saturated. So that system doesn't actually hold up for long-term success. As more people join, it becomes physically impossible for everyone to recruit enough people to succeed. you physically will just run out of people to recruit and sell to. The people at the top are paid first, and everyone below them are competing and fighting for the same pool of customers and recruits. When sales don't materialize, the blame isn't put on the system, it's placed on the individuals, all of the Susies. They're told they didn't work hard enough, they didn't hustle enough, they're not goal-driven enough, they don't want success badly enough. So the people at the bottom lose money, relationships, and confidence, while the structure itself remains intact. That is just how MLMs work, not by rewarding hard work, but by transferring risk downward. There are so many more people who have failure stories in the MLM business opportunities than people with success stories. And if that isn't a giant red flag, I don't know what is. In MLMs, the people at the top are on an escalator up, while everyone else is on the stairs being told to run faster. This reel I found on Instagram is a real throat punch of distortion and false narratives, so brace yourself.
Network marketing haters love to call it a scam, but meanwhile their job will pay them just enough to survive. Why isn't that called a designed to keep you broke scheme? We need to talk about this. Honestly, people will give decades to a company, overtime, stress, missing their life, just to get paid whatever the employer thinks that they're worth until they're suddenly no longer needed. But
whoa now, did somebody in a multi-level marketing scheme where majority of the reps do not get paid say that working a 9-to-5 where you are guaranteed to get paid is a designed to keep you broke scheme? Seems a bit hypocritical and misleading to me, in my opinion, but let's see if she explains herself.
sure, network marketing's the scam. Honestly, corporate is the biggest pyramid in existence, I believe. And here's the real truth. People don't actually hate network marketing. They just hate what it represents, because in this space, your results reflect your effort. There's no boss to hide behind. There's no co-worker to blame. There's no excuses. And that level of accountability exposes people.
She is saying pretty much what the last post we talked about said, that if you fail in your MLM business opportunity, it's because you had a lack of effort or accountability or desire to succeed. I know that isn't true. You know that isn't true. And I'm betting at a basic level, she knows that is not true. But these reps are fed so many half-truths and narrative framing situations that they begin to believe the lies that the CEOs and the top earners are spewing to them in an attempt to keep money funneling upward into their own pockets.
And then let's talk about this overpriced products argument. People will spend £100 on a top that someone was literally paid pennies to make. But suddenly this is unethical. Please make it make sense.
This argument is a non-starter and doesn't really make sense to me. She is basically saying that if it's okay for other companies to sell products that are unethically made and then upcharge it to crazy amounts, why is it not okay for MLM companies to price gouge people? Slave labor is a very real and disgusting thing that happens. MLM companies wildly overpricing their products to increase profit margins is also a very real and disgusting thing that happens. Both are wrong, both are immoral, both are scammy. This was such a weird, just weird thing to say. And it wouldn't surprise me if she got this garbage from someone else in her upline, or maybe the CEO of the company, say this and then just kind of regurgitate it, because it doesn't really make sense if you put some thought into it.
Do you know what? I'm actually sick and tired of hearing that network marketing is bad, because it actually gives everyday people something the system never wanted them to have: choice, autonomy, and a way out. And guess what? You don't need a degree to make a ton of money. Nothing feels more like a scam than giving your entire life to a job that can replace you and literally keeps you just surviving, not living.
Insinuating that a multi-level marketing company is designed to help you live your best life and your 9-to-5 is designed to just keep you just struggling and barely making it, and this MLM business opportunity is just like your savior. Just quit your 9-to-5 and just join my team and you can live life to the fullest, is actually insane and very, very false. I would much rather survive with the things that I just need: a roof over my head, clothes on my body, food in my refrigerator, gas to drive around, working a corporate job, than make on average $131 a year in a multi-level marketing company. That doesn't seem like living my best life. Barely affording half of my grocery bill for a week in the entire year. Make that make sense. Oh, by the way, I didn't just throw out 131 randomly. $131 is what 94% of the Monat reps made in 2024. On average, for the entire year, $131 for the entire year. Like I said, that is half of my grocery bill for a week. Another example of this stellar business model is the company called Arbonne. 83% of their representatives made a whopping $226 in 2024 for a yearly average. They even have a section in their income disclosure statement that says, earnings are not guaranteed. Earnings are not guaranteed. Imagine working a 9-to-5 job. Imagine going into an interview and they're selling you on the best parts of the company. And then they end the job interview by saying,
but income's not guaranteed. We can't tell you that you for sure will get paid for all the effort that you put in, but it's still a really great opportunity and you could have financial freedom through that.
I'm sorry, what? That is basically what these MLM companies are doing. Anybody can quickly do a Google search of their income disclosure statements before joining a company and see that these numbers are adding up to be very, very, very much of a letdown. And furthermore, proving that these people are not getting paid for all of their hard work and they are nowhere close to financial freedom. They're nowhere close to retiring their husbands or quitting their 9-to-5 to just stay home with their kids. You're not going to ever be able to do that in a multi-level marketing company unless you join at conception of that company and you can climb to the top very, very quickly. Or you join with a substantial Instagram following or TikTok following, some kind of social media following where you can just bring all of your followers onto your team essentially when you join the company. An average Susie or an average Joe is not ever going to be able to make the kind of money that these other representatives at the tippy top of these pyramid schemes make. Ever. Period. Never. Never. And let's jump back to the Arbonne thing. The earnings recorded don't account for the expenses that these people have to put up to join this company. So really, that average of $226 is probably eaten up within the first month of you joining. So really, they didn't even make that. Weird.
So before you judge this industry, ask yourself who really benefits from staying exactly where you are.
You do. You benefit from staying exactly where you are and not joining a pyramid scheme scam. If you have a stable job, babe, stay there. Stay there. It may not be fun. It may seem unfair, but it's a lot less unfair than joining Monat or Arbonne or any of these other scammy businesses that these people are trying to talk you into joining. Sure, you may not have a ton of extra things in life, but you probably have what you need. And if you join an MLM company, I bet you'll be wanting for a lot more than you are wanting for now. I'm really sorry if she's being super loud. She's just happy and talking, and I don't really want to make her sad by putting her somewhere else. And I'm thinking this mic, it's my first time using this mic, and I think it has noise canceling, so I'm hoping that it's picking up more of me and less of her. The next post is from yet another Instagram account, and she is trying to teach us how to recruit people if we're in an MLM and wanting to build a team. The first slide says, when they say, oh, it's one of those things, here's exactly what to say to salvage the conversation instead of losing the downline lead to the hills. When someone says, oh, it's one of those things, they're not rejecting you, they're reacting to a story they've been told, a misunderstanding about the business model, a past experience with someone who built it poorly, a fear of being judged. This is not the moment to defend the industry. It's the moment to lead the conversation. The 4 things that she listed that her potential prospect is reacting to should be major red flags for anybody considering joining an MLM company. She says it's not time to defend the industry because all of these reps spend so much time defending the network marketing business model and spewing lies that the only reason people don't succeed in them is because they didn't work hard enough. If 80% of my time spent on social media is trying to convince people that the company I work for isn't a scam, I feel like I may have just perhaps maybe missed a few red flags. People lose the sign up because they respond with over-explaining, nervous energy, a pitch instead of a conversation, trying to prove legitimacy, jumping into compensation, company history, or testimonials too soon. This triggers the exact outcome they fear. You don't need a pitch. You need a pattern interrupt. Your goal isn't to convince them that network marketing is okay. Your goal is to shift their emotional state, bring them back into curiosity, reconnect them with their original desire, position yourself as someone who builds differently, create enough safety to continue the conversation. If you regain safety and certainty, you regain the lead. She says the concerning part quite quietly here. She is pretty much encouraging you to shift people back into like an emotional state, an emotional form of thinking. She wants their focus to be shifted away from legitimate concerns and back to their emotional state. And again, I am not coming after this one person as an individual because I am sure that she has been taught this through different levels of uplines. She's been taught to say these things. I don't think that in a normal situation, if she wasn't scammed into an MLM company, that she would be doing this or saying these things online. Because if you really think about it, if you just step back and take the lens off of
MLMs are the savior of our economy and your crappy life and you being poor.
Step back out of that frame of thought. What these people say, it doesn't make sense. None of it makes sense. And none of it is very great life advice at a basic level. In any other job industry, you would not want people making decisions based on their emotions. God even tells us in Jeremiah that we should not follow the whims of our heart because those can be very, very deceitful.
Oh, Susie. Don't you worry your pretty little head about all of these claims that multi-level marketing companies behave eerily similar to product-based pyramid schemes. Or the rumors that majority of the representatives make about a week's worth of groceries for the entire year as compensation. Or that when we tell you that you're starting your own ground-up business, that you are actually signing up to pay the company to be a salesperson for them without the guarantee of payment. Don't waste your time thinking logically. I mean, come on. Just tap back into your emotions so I can effectively recruit you onto my team. So I can get my bonuses all while I'm using you as a stepping stone to my success.
The clarity re-anchor. Prospect. Yeah, I watched the info and realized it's network marketing. You say, totally. And just so you know, the info video only explains the model, not the way you would build with me. The part that actually matters is your goals, your pace, and the support you get. If you're open, I can walk you through what this looks like in real life so you can make the right decision for you. Why it works. It separates the model from your mentorship, removes pressure, repositions you as the missing context. So I've got two questions here. How can you separate your mentorship from the business model if they are one and the same? You would not be mentoring somebody without the business model. And two, why would you need to separate the business model from you when you're trying to recruit someone to join your team? That seems so suspicious to me. Very sus. Is it because you know the business model is very unstable and the income dispersion is very top heavy? Is that why you need to separate the mentorship and the business model to recruit somebody? This is another form of just misleading and narrative spinning that the representatives of these companies use because they know if they gave 100% transparency about the business model and how people make money and how people don't make money, nobody would join them. I'm not saying, and I really want to stress this, I am not saying that this individual who posted this is evil or a mastermind trying to steal from you or scam you. But I am saying that she was probably misled and scammed into joining the company that she now is a part of and has since been brainwashed by the cherry-picking messaging that goes on by the CEOs and top leaders of these companies almost, I would wager to say 24/7 in their training calls. The last thing that I want to touch on isn't necessarily like one post or one reel, and that is the fact that most of the network marketing advice that you find on social media is centered on recruiting and growing your team and not how to sell the products. And what is the first and most telling sign that you're in a pyramid scheme? Yes, correct. That income comes from recruiting and not selling the product or services. I won't say that you won't ever see somebody coaching you on how to sell the products that you're trying to sell, but it is very rare in comparison to the mass amount of posts teaching you how to recruit people. There are whole Instagram accounts dedicated to just that. If it was really about how amazing the products are, as they always claim, then wouldn't we see more before and after pictures or posts strictly about how amazing the products are, or team calls that are centered around the benefits of the products and how to sell and how to pitch the products to people? Rather than reels of these MLM top earners bragging about their lavish lifestyles and how you could become a millionaire and on your journey to financial freedom if you just join my team, and how their comp plan is better than any other of the comp plans that the other MLM companies put out. Speaking of compensation plans, if the whole point of your company was getting these life-changing products into the hands of other people, wouldn't the comp plans reflect that? Wouldn't there be products that were actually affordable? And the avenues of income would be more related to product sales than building your team. Here's an example of that in a newer MLM called Frequent that I think it opened in February of 2023. I've done a whole video about it. The comp plan lists 6 different ways that you can make money in their company. 4 out of the 6 are tied back to recruitment. So 67% of the income avenues in Frequent are recruitment based, not product based. There are a few things I want you to take away from this video. Number 1 is that it isn't your fault if you failed in an MLM company before. Like I said, the business model is designed for failure unless you are one of those people who join with a huge following or joining at the time of conception of the company. Whether you gave 10% or 110%, you were bound to fail regardless, because that's just how pyramid schemes go for about 90% of the people who join them. Number 2 is for the people who are maybe considering joining an MLM company. Before you do that, I highly, highly, highly encourage you to look up their income disclosure statements and their comp plans before you make a decision. Don't listen to the lies or the false narratives that you're going to be starting your own business, because that's just what they are, false. And number 3 is for the people who are already in an MLM company. If majority of your time is spent defending yourself, trying to convince your friends and family that you're not in a scam or a pyramid scheme, that is a really big red flag that you are involved in something unethical and unstable. Please, please, please get out before you lose any more of your time, money, and self-respect. That's all I have for this video today. I feel like there was kind of a theme in this one, comparing corporate America to a pyramid scheme and then putting the blame on people who fail at MLMs rather than putting the blame on the unstable and scammy structure of the MLM business model. Let me know what else stood out to you in the comments below. If you like this, I have a whole anti-MLM playlist. I don't have very many videos on there yet because I am pretty new to this, but I'm confident that if you stayed until the end of this one, you will like the other videos too. I have videos called the MLM Files, where I take a deeper look at various MLM companies through the lens of truth-seeking and logical thinking. And I also have a series called the MLM Disasters, which this video is a part of that, where I just go over weird and odd things that these representatives are saying on social media and debunking the lies that are just being spread. Please consider checking those videos out and liking and subscribing, because it does help my tiny new channel out a whole lot. And remember, your time is valuable, your worth is very real, and you don't need a downline to prove that. I'll catch you on the flip side, my guys. See you later.